Hi everyone, this is Amina for another episode of Wise Wednesdays. Today we're talking about 10 signs that you may be a rescuer. Sign number 1, your job. Your job may reflect your rescuer identity, especially if it's been ingrained and encouraged from a long time. So you may be a doctor or a nurse or work in charity. You may also be in the private sector or the corporate sector, but you will tend to take on the role of helper or fixer. Number 2, you tend to jump into situations to help, to fix. You may even anticipate people's needs before they're even aware of them. It's as if you're constantly scanning the environment or the situation to work out where help will be needed so that you can get in there. Number 3, you will experience helper's high, that good feeling, that rush of endorphins that comes from feeling that you've helped someone, helped improve a situation. Now, there's nothing wrong with that, but it's important to be aware of it so that it doesn't become a compulsion. And so, because if it is compulsive, you will experience compassion fatigue and eventually burnout if it's part of your job. Sign number 4, you are uncomfortable feeling vulnerable. You don't like being the weak one or the one who's exposed or the one who needs help. So you will tend to avoid that situation. And of course, helping others is a great way to avoid that situation. Number 5, you like to be independent. You're probably an independent soul and you like to figure things out on your own. You feel you can figure things out on your own. It's just a matter of time and effort. Sign number 6, you may feel that you don't deserve help or you're not worthy of help because you're fine. And what you're doing isn't that important or difficult. So why should anybody support you or help you? What you're doing is just what's expected. It's the bare minimum. And this can tie in with imposter syndrome as well, which I've talked about somewhere else. Sign number 7, you may sometimes snap. You can have outbursts of anger and not really understand why, and then feel guilty about them. And it can affect your relationships, but it never quite gets resolved because you're probably not acknowledging the fact that you need some space, you need some help, or you need something. And so it just comes out in a burst of aggression unexpectedly. Sign number 8, you can get annoyed with other people who do ask for help or articulate their needs and make a big deal out of them. You might perceive them as complainers or whiners or just unwarrantedly weak. Sign number 9, you tend to get bored or anxious if there isn't a problem to solve or someone to help. And so you might notice that you may even create problems or try to find them, not consciously, but somehow you find yourself talking about a problem and at the back of your mind, you kind of know maybe it's not a problem, but it gives you some satisfaction to have a problem to fix. Sign number 10, and this is probably the biggest one and easiest one to identify, is that you have problems articulating your own needs. You find it difficult to articulate your needs because you're just not used to doing it. And so the road to recovery or the road to more fulfillment and peace is to learn to articulate your own needs and express them. So I hope that helps. Maybe you've identified with some of them or many of them. Again, awareness is the first step to having more control over your life and having more ease in your life. So I hope this helps you. Feel free to read the full blog on www.drmina.com if you haven't, and I will see you soon. Bye-bye.